Obviously, as I mentioned after the game, I was disappointed, coming off Saturday, coming back, watching the film. It was a game that, we had our opportunities, we had moments. We needed to be able to make a run with some of those, times that showed up. I thought we did a good job, defensively at times of being able to disrupt the quarterback. Obviously, didn't do a good enough job of stopping the run. Had some misfits that allowed bigger seams than what we needed and what we expected. But that you got to give credit. Back ran hard. You had some. You hit open spaces and. I thought we did a good job, being able to limit the big play defensively, from the offense that's had, a lot of them. I thought our guys, battled in coverage, really contained, the receivers for the most part throughout the game. Quarterback's a really good player, was able to extend plays with his legs. We had a couple of, critical mistakes, which we touched on there after the game, with penalties and, a couple of those on us as a staff where we've got to, we got to be aware of have a better sense of awareness, which, like I said, after games, inexcusable for us on our part. And then, we had a couple of long yardage third downs that extended drives. I think you look defensively, that was probably the biggest thing. The glaring issue was just the conversion downs. I mean, third downs, and then allowing 3 of 3 on fourth downs were areas of opportunities for us to get off the field, which with that extended. Extended drives. We played, I think 84 snaps. Time of possession. All those things, kind of, build upon themselves. We weren't able to create any takeaways throughout the course of the game, and obviously that's was what it was. Offensively, needed a fast start. Came out first couple drives, were unable to do that. I was really pleased. I thought Luke did a good job, being able to extend plays, there. Brock as well, even times where he had to scramble, and I thought they did a good job of their movements of keeping plays alive. Obviously the Luke's first drive, being able to get down and get in the end zone, was big, and. But as you go through the course of the game, we just had we had some missed opportunities, some poor communication. Things I touched on after the game were just confirmed there. As you go back and you look and evaluate, some of that is atmosphere, noise, communication with the young quarterback to offensive line on certain checks, and then just certain things where we just have to be better in applying the communication that's being made. So, in that game, there was a couple opportunities where we had the ball on the plus side of the field with conversions, a couple shots, a couple opportunities there on fourth down, on third and fourth downs that we have to convert on in those situations to be able to make that run. Because I thought it was a close game with our guys played hard throughout it. It just you got to make those plays in a rivalry game, and like I said, the penalties. We just had a few of those that really put us in more challenging situations, and obviously we got to be able to be better on offense. Special teams was. Just mixed. Our guys did a good job in what they had to do, but didn't really play as big of a role there in that contest as it has in others. So with that being said, our focus goes into this week. As I challenge players, coaches, everybody involved. I mean, our focus this week is to go get it done with the opportunity that's in front of us, and we've got to there's been a lot of work that's gone into it, a lot of push. Some young guys getting new opportunities, guys that are fighting for more opportunities in what they get to do. But it's still about ultimately the performance of what we do and going to make sure that shows up on Saturday. And that's the challenge. That's the expectation. We have to go get better, and we have to improve. Wherever guys are, whether they're older guys that have been here for a while, whether they're new guys that are getting their first real experience. I mean, we got to show improvement, and we have to go get it done on the field. And that's what I want to see from every member of this program, and that's going to be the expectation.
All right, first question will be Ira, second row on your right. offensively, over the course of the season, the personnel's changed a lot, different quarterbacks, and as you said, you've been playing a lot of the younger guys. Are the problems offensively consistently the same problems in terms of execution, or is it a matter of finding new things that might work, or like where are you at right now as you evaluate kind of the season on offense?
Yeah, obviously it's not been very good at all. I mean, it's we've had our issues of and there have been multiple issues. Lacked a running game consistently throughout the course of the year. I think we've started to be able to have some improvement there. We've had 7 different starting offensive linemen or offensive line groups in 8 games. That's not the continuity there. Some of that due to injury. Some of that due to performance. That has to. We've got to be better. In that regards, but it does present some challenges when it comes to communication. When it comes to overall continuity of execution. But we played multiple linemen before, and I think that's something that we've seen some positive steps there in certain elements of the run game. We've had issues with drops throughout the course of the year that have limit some explosive plays, but limited rhythm being able to have that burst in the passing game that's necessary. We've looked at different elements of things that we can do, with the different personnel and trying to put guys in the best position to be successful. But it's been. There have been multiple issues of things that have shown up just in inopportune times. We've hit explosive plays and had penalties, that negated the explosive plays. And so it's really just been it's been a challenging year in a variety of different ways of what we've experienced offensively, and it's with younger guys coming in. I mean, some of it is, young guys' mistakes that have showed up that they just need the reps. They need the looks. They got to go out there and sometimes learn through the fire of what they're going through. But we have seen some growth from some of those guys that have lacked experience that are getting in-game reps, and plan on continuing to see that, and working to put those guys in the best position that we can for them to go and achieve success.
All right, next week, Chris.
2 parts, but about the same thing. Jake Rizzi started at left guard. How did he do in that game? And Andre Otto sliding behind Mo. Is that a hope of pushing Mo with the recent snap issues that he continues to have? Yeah,
I thought Rizzi, there was, early the first couple drives, getting acclimated to it. There was a few plays that, he had to work through, but I thought overall, big picture, I thought he did some good things, and that was a good defensive front, that we faced, and he held his own, throughout it. I think with Andre being able to, he's a lot of versatility in his game. Him and Rizzi have both gotten work there at the center position. But yeah, there's everybody's being pushed right now, and we have to be better. And obviously with issues that have shown up there, with snaps and just overall performance, we got to make sure that everybody is pushing themselves, and that we're pushing this offense just to go out there and be the best that we can be. And everybody's getting that.
Stay here for Brendan.
Do you have a sense with some of the issues that have been presented on offense, like what during the evaluation process, maybe things that you guys misevaluated on, just more for like learning moving forward to not make similar mistakes in the upcoming off season?
Obviously there's you go through every game, and you try to identify the issues that show up in that specific game. Whether was it personnel issue? Was it maybe a schematic issue where you can be better? When you go to big picture, coming off the bye week, there a few weeks ago, when you look at a big picture approach to what were some of those continuing issues that showed up. Some of it is probably evaluation of ultimate strengths of what we perceived that we were, or what we executed in the moments. Some of it is personnel issues. Are we putting guys in the best position at what they do? What we thought they would be in the moment, and then obviously how can you help guys grow and you'll be better, and or maybe possibly move them to a different position to kind of showcase their skills and talents. And so it's a year, it's a every year thing, and even in years where you have success, I mean, sometimes you identify maybe a player or a position or a scheme that might have fit or might not have been as good as what you anticipated going in, and then you adapt and adjust through it. And I've done it long enough, especially on that side of the ball, where it's it is usually a work in progress to pinpoint and identify things throughout the course of the year. We just, we have not done a very good job offensively as a big picture of being able to do that and to execute the way that we need to.
All right, we'll go with third row for Jordan.
Coach, you mentioned it earlier, but Miami averaged over 7 yards a rush. Was it something that they were doing schematically that gave you guys trouble, or were they just more physical than you guys in the line of scrimmage?
No, I mean, there was a we probably had 4 plays where they hit the A gap where we just had an absolute misfit. And I mean, it's and then there was 2 where we had everything clogged up. The transfer running back bounced the outside. We missed 2 tackles on the perimeter that allowed bigger plays. But I thought our guys battled inside. I mean, the product is a product. I mean, they did a good job. They rushed for, I think, over 200 yards against us, and those are our issues that we have to correct. And but it's unfortunate to see that happen. They don't do a whole lot schematically. It's not, but they changed did a few things out of a different personnel group. But we have to be better.
We'll go to Liam, second row.
Coach, you mentioned it earlier, some miscommunication between the O-line and the quarterbacks. Is there a challenging element to it when you've had, you said, 7 different O-linemen start the game, or O-line units start the game, and 3 different quarterbacks? And how do you kind of work on that moving forward with these few games, especially starting this week with North Carolina? Yeah,
I mean, it's just one of the things, you emphasize communication, obviously being on the road, that atmosphere, rival, a lot of just excitement in the moment. But, for us, you got to go see, and whether it's a check from the quarterback or whether it's communication up front, guys making sure that, we can't have, if it's offensive lineman, you got 5 guys next to each other. You can't have 4, executing a call and then 1 not, or making sure that, as we're out there on the field, if there's a check or something that we're doing that we're not communicating that clearly, throughout. And I mean, it's all levels of it. It's coaches, players. We got to make sure that we all, understand the importance of it, and we try to create that throughout the course of the week of practice. But in the moment, things moving fast, and that's just those are missed opportunities. And we had there's a handful of plays that come out of that game, and where you got 10 guys operating, and you see the space, you see the potential, but we just got to do a better job of making sure that especially you got young quarterbacks that are working in that situation and trying to be as clear as possible, and then you got some different combinations there up front, just guys being locked in on the importance of that communication in the moment, so that we can go out there and execute properly.
Corey, second row on your right.
Obviously, with 4 games still left in the season, you have to concentrate on these 4 games in this season, starting with this one. But once December hits, once that Sunday after the last game of the season hits, it basically becomes free agency in this sport now. And you can overturn a roster and make a lot of drastic changes right after a season ends. How much of your focus right now is just on North Carolina? How much do you have to think about 2025 and making sure, obviously a season like this doesn't happen again?
Yeah, I mean, you always have to balance it both, because with recruiting, with everything that we're doing, making sure that that we have a plan for moving forward to be better. And obviously this is going to be a critical off season for us. There's a lot of work that that has been going on, throughout the course of the year, preparing for what next year and the future, is. And, but for the players that I get to coach and the guys that we have, I mean, I got to give them everything that I have, making sure that we're focused on being the best we can be here this week. And then as well as, I owe it to the program to make sure that everything that we're doing is preparing for what is ahead too. So, I mean, there is definitely a balance when it comes to it. But for these players, I mean, it's all about going to win this game and doing everything in our power to make sure that we achieve that. And then come the next week will be the same focus for the next week, for the next four, leading up to it. But you'll come December, we have a plan. We have during the bye week, we spent a good portion of time with personnel, our evaluation of where we are, what are the things that we need to do, what are the positions of need, what does that look like for us to be able to take a big step in to what's necessary. And you've mentioned the turnover within rosters, and I'm really excited about a lot of our young players that we have. I'm excited about the development I've seen from them throughout the course of the year, and I also know that we have positions where we have a need, and we need to go and add elite level players to that position to come in here and complement what we have here on the roster currently. And so we spent a lot of time with it already throughout the course of the year. But yeah, there is definitely a twofold thought. But for us, I mean, we got to do everything in our power for this week.
All right, we'll come back to Jordan, third row on your left.
Coach, you mentioned it a little bit after the game on Saturday about guys never pulling back. But in a season like you have right now, how difficult is it to keep guys motivated, to keep the focus on this game just with all the outside noise and the losing streak and things like that? Yeah,
it's, we play the game, we coach the game. You do everything in your power to go be your best in the game, and that the record doesn't define that. That is that's the we are where we are. Nobody wants to be where we are with our record, but we get an opportunity to get better, and you get an opportunity to go and take a positive step for you in your career with what you want to do, with what you want to be, what you want it to look like. We all have a responsibility to go be our best, and that is, I've challenged, the team, I've challenged the coaches, I've tried, all of us. I mean, there is an expectation for our best to show up with our attitude, with our effort, with all things that we're doing. And, I've been pleased with the team in that aspect of it. I mean, this is, we're all pissed off for where we're sitting right now, and nobody wants to be, to have the record that we have. Nobody wants to have played the way we played, throughout the course of the year. Overall, big picture, but. We still get the choice of what we're going to do with that, and I believe in the guys that we have. I believe in the way that we operate. Obviously the foundational elements of this program is to go get better, being the best that we can be, and we've got to be willing to put that out there, regardless of the circumstances that we're facing, and what it looks like in the moment. Because if not, then it's not real, and you're only going to show up when it's good for you. Then you won't be showing up for very long.
All right, come back, Brendan, front row.
What is your messaging to recruits who might have concerns about what the record's been this season? Has it changed at all since the start of the year? Well,
I mean, obviously you go into the season and you have it's been a bad year record-wise, performance-wise at times. Just looking at what we've gone through, and it still goes back to every guy that we're going after. We see them as a addition to this team to help make this team better. And obviously you can look at record, you can look at performance, and you can see that as something that could potentially push away of some players, and then some guys they see the opportunity to come in and be a difference and to be a difference maker in what we're doing and where we're going. And so it's still about finding the right guys. It's still about finding guys that can come in and you look 3 years ago. I mean, that's what we found. I mean, because our record sucked then. And we had to find guys that wanted to come in and be the difference maker here at Florida State to help get our program back to doing something great. And the guys that were here that had talent that just needed to grow and to be able to go out there and play at a high level, they had to do that too. And we were able to find the right combination of recruits that came in that became stars for this football team. And they made their mark, and they didn't come here because the record was good, and they came here because they saw the opportunity to go be a difference maker. And then we were able to win whatever it was, 19 straight games, win a conference championship. A lot of those guys now starting as rookies in the National Football League. I mean, we've seen that story play out. And this year is it's been extremely disappointing that we have not played better when we've had opportunities. We've had our times that to be much better than what we've shown, but the right guys are going to show up, and the right guys are going to be a part of getting this program back to where it deserves to be and where we all expect it to be. And those are ones I'm looking for. And the right ones will say yes, and then we'll come in here and work our butt off, and it's going to be a great story to see.
All right, Liam, second row, you're on.
Almost like a follow-up to that one. You mentioned being excited about the young guys you have now. We saw against Miami, BJ, LaWayne, Elijah kind of sharing the field at the same time. Is there an avenue for those guys to play more and feature more in these next 4 games and kind of start building that future you're excited for now?
Yeah, I mean, I think, once again, anybody that goes on the field, they have to earn those opportunities to get on the field. And, I mean, I thought last week, all 3 guys that you mentioned, really had good weeks in practice and preparation, and they've earned opportunities to get out there. Now, in the game, there was good and there's some bad, and guys had opportunities in the game to make plays, to go out there and operate and execute, and some of them got first experiences, and they realized, the importance of some of the finer details of things that we need to do and where we can be better. And so now we have to grow from that, apply that this week, and with the next opportunity, you got to go capitalize on it. But I'm definitely very excited about the young group, the young guys that we have, and some positions it's there's been probably a bigger door of opportunity to walk through. And, we got guys that, right now, I mean, I look at our defensive back group, and I think our defensive backs have played well for the most part, throughout the course of this year, corner position, all of that. And when you see guys like Kai Bates, Charles Lester, I mean, those guys are getting exponentially better within the course of practice. Ricky Knight, I mean, I'm really excited about that group, and they haven't maybe had as many opportunities, just because of what we're how we played in with guys that are in front of them, but they're continuing to work, they're continuing to push, and so I'm excited about that young class that we have, and just the positive steps I'm seeing from them in practice, day in and day out, and you're really excited about where that's going to take them here as we move forward within the program.
All right, we're going to go 3 more. Next will be Kurt. Ira.
You thought about 3, huh?
I know you've operated both ways throughout your career in terms of being the primary play caller and not being the primary play caller. As you look going forward, and you see a team that's got a lot of issues, is that something you'll look at in terms of you dividing your time to all the areas you need to divide your time, or do you feel like you need to keep that role long term?
For us, for us and for me specifically, it's what's best for this football team, and I'll always evaluate each role and everybody's role and what we have and what it needs to be, and obviously we haven't been very good offensively this year, and I've been throughout my career, I've had a lot of years of being a play caller, and they've historically been really good. And but you look at it and you try to say, well, what are the issues? Why are there the issues? You look at how are things that we can all do to be better, and if it means that my time can be served better for this football team and program doing other tasks, and in that, then I'll always evaluate those things. I'm not I'm not so stuck on just doing a thing a certain way. So I'll always evaluate that because just like as it comes into this week, whatever we got to do this week to help this football team put itself in a position to go win this game. That's what I care about. When we get to the end of the season, I'm going to reevaluate, all aspects of it and say, what is best for this team moving forward to go win the next game. And so, that will always be something that I evaluate. I've done it, as a play caller. I've done it, as not, and kind of in a different, in a different scope. So, that's not something for me that I just sit there and it's not an ego thing to say, well, I call the play. I want to win. And, ultimately that's what can I do to help this team, be the best that we can be.
I know it's not the most common thing. We've seen a few places elsewhere of mid-season coach, or coordinator, assistant coach changes. I guess, is that something you have to consider in a season like this, or is that more we need to get through it and address it in December when it's over?
Like I said, my number one focus is doing everything for these players to go win this week. And what are we doing for that? And, I'm watching all aspects of our program. I'm watching how our players work. I'm watching how our players, the effort that they give, the intent which they bring. I'm watching our coaches and all things that we're doing. And that's my primary focus, is that these guys are getting every opportunity to go be successful come Saturday. And as you get through the year, if I see something change in that regards, and I feel like it is the best for our team to make a change in any area, then I've got to be willing to do that. And that's part of the job. But I do believe in the opportunity that's ahead and what we can do. And all of our focus is going to be going into this week and helping these players go put themselves in the best position to be successful.
All right, last one, Corey.
How did you think, looking back on the film, the two quarterbacks played? And I know you didn't want to, and you probably won't now comment on what the plan is moving forward, but can you see a scenario where in these next 4 games they both get plenty of reps to kind of evaluate what you have going in 2025?
Yeah, I think that I've been pleased for, especially the situation these guys have been put in. I've been pleased with a lot of elements of their game that I've seen. And Luke's played, in the last 2 games, and I think he's learned a lot even in the last the 2 outings of things of areas of real strengths, and then obviously areas that he's going to get to get better throughout it. But I've been really proud of him. Brock and the Clemson game had some really, really good moments of what he was able to do in response. Same thing. There as in these last couple of games, but we're still working, through a lot of, just being a young quarterback. And, for those guys, with every rep that they get, I'm seeing growth. I'm seeing application. I'm seeing, I see the potential of what it can be. But, they get to go out there and they get to continue to pour in that work. And, we got to do our job as coaches and, everybody surrounding them to help them, be successful in those moments. But, I am proud of the work that they are investing, and, definitely excited about what their futures are going to be.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys.